So I'm gonna get into some SWAC baseball standing news. Right now, the current standings in SWAC baseball: Florida A&M.
Wow.
We'll get to why he feel like that in a minute.
That's so
And he
aggressive.
say, "Are we ever gonna get Coach Beall on this show?" That's all I got. That's
We're gonna get to that right after this. All right, so we have honored the request. Marlo just called in. He is on the way. For those who are unaware, Coach Beall, fresh off the bus, got her squad together, and now probably coach of the year in the SWAC. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? I think we lost. We might have lost Coach. Coach, can you hear us?
She says she can't hear us.
Oh, I can hear you now. That was weird.
Okay.
I can hear you now.
Okay. But again, we got
Coach
of the year.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, man.
What you're saying.
I think her sound may be going in and out.
It went in and went out.
Are you on your phone?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I can hear everybody, but I can't hear Troy.
Oh, wow.
Troy probably said something bad about Bethune before we went live, and his connection messes up every time he does that.
Every time.
You know, so Jamal, go ahead. Since she can't hear me, go ahead and conduct the interview, and I'll set shotgun. Go ahead and conduct the interview.
Okay.
Anybody hear me?
Cool.
Yeah,
Jamal, put your drink
Troy
down.
was trying to say, we have Coach Beall here, head coach from Florida A&M University, and she literally just stepped off the bus, and team has been kicking ass and taking names like there is no other. Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself, and Troy, send me your questions so I can make sure I don't miss what you want to get in.
All right. So I'm from Central Florida, which is about 3.5 hours away. I grew up in a small town called Mount Dora. I don't know if anybody ever heard of that. It's just 30 miles north of Orlando. So I got here in October, and like you said, I hit the ground running. First week I had practice, and we were in fall ball, and so it's just been a lot of on the go. But I think God has put me in the place where I can thrive and obviously be here for the girls and just try to be the best coach that I possibly can be in the SWAC.
Cool. So not to damper the moment, but given what has happened in Tallahassee today, is everybody okay?
Yeah, everybody's okay. Today it was weird because I know I had some student athletes in my room or my office, and they're like active shooter. It was crazy because at one point I was like, all right, I'm locking my office door. It's just one of those things, out of sight, out of mind. But it's one of those things where it's scary. It was scary, just the unknown, because nobody was saying anything, so we didn't know if the active shooter was caught or still running around. So that was the scary part. I just wish they would have said, hey, we apprehended him, so people can move freely. But a lot of students were, trying to get in the cars, go home, just kind of stay out of Dodge. But it was sad for sure.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right.
So for me, right. You got it, Troy.
So, okay. Again, thoughts and prayers to everybody. Yeah. I know I hate saying that, but thoughts and prayers for everybody that being safe. So as this season has progressed, and because I haven't been able to make a lot of games, I'm like digging deep into stats and watching live stat track. SWAC. There's no reason why we don't see these games, but we'll say that for another day. There isn't, like, I'm seeing the development of Brown as the season has progressed, but overall, I can't point to one person or to one thing as to why this team is the best in the SWAC. It just looks. Am I wrong in thinking it's a team effort?
No, I say that all the time. It's because it's every game is somebody different. Somebody steps up, and I feel like as a coach, that's the beauty part of it. Because everybody seems to have some value in what they what they're doing, and have a role. It's hard because I can only put 9 people on the field. Let's be honest, and there's girls sitting on the bench. But at some given point, either they come in and pinch run, or get an at bat. But just having someone step up at different just makes the win just a little bit sweeter. And I know if you guys have ever coached, that's just one of the things where you look back and you say, okay, well, hey, good job here, good job there. And when you can say good job to everybody in the dugout or everybody on the field, that makes your coaching heart get a little bit bigger and bigger and every time.
So we've asked this a lot of other coaches, and I will ask this of you as well. Who is your glue person? The one person that kind of just brings everybody together. The one person that may get a hit or may get a out at a critical moment. Who is your glue person that kind of keeps everything together?
Oh, that's hard because we just said everybody has a. That's hard. I would say it. It depends on the moment. It really does depend on the moment. Because
No
like
pressure, coach.
I can't really honestly, and I don't want to say like, oh, I'm just kind of trying to say the political, right answer, but it's just everybody has had their good moments and everybody has had, their bad moments. So honestly, I really can't identify. I think we had some girls that started out kind of slow and now they're kind of, chipping away. I know Jamison Townsend, she started out very, 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 very high. I mean, she was just that firecracker that we needed in the lineup. And she's done a great job too. So Amari has done a extremely good job defensively and offensively. But then we also see, Sierra Maple step up to the plate and punch, runs in. Anaya Canty has been playing just amazing defense, and the same thing with Bree Duggan. So, like I said, I legitimately can say it's been somebody that has been a glue to every single game.
Mullo, do you have any questions for Coach? Because I know.
Hey, that's a
you
good
put it on. You put it on. So, do you have any questions, Mullo?
I just want to say thank you for coming and gracing us with your presence on our
Oh,
small
thank you.
little podcast. And I am a diehard. I gave blood, sweat, and tears to the hill. I ran up Mount FAMU. I played ball up there and ran track. So I understand the athletic side. And Coach Wiggins was like a mama to me. So
Yeah, I love
um,
cooking.
yeah. So coming into the community, because FAMU is a community, how have the community embraced you? Just
Um,
being in it.
So the community, like day one, has been open arms. I think even having Angela here, I think I started a week before Angela Suggs, and so having her be supportive when it comes to softball. Because remember, 7 years ago, she was actually um, she worked with softball. So, having her be a part of that. And then obviously, if you guys don't know, her daughter also plays softball and collegiately at Campbell. So just having that and having her understand. Same thing with our SWD, Brittany Johnson. She also played ball. So just having those people in my corner that understand the game and understand the concepts and understand like the planning and the how strategic you have to be, coaching, because a lot of people think it's just you just throw out your glove. No, like the game has changed tremendously where you have to have the IQ, you got to know, you have to plan. So like this weekend, because of everything that happened today, we're gonna have to postpone our game to Saturday and Sunday. Obviously it's not ideal because it's Easter, but at the same time, we play Alabama State next week, Bethune plays Jackson, and for us to have a midweek game before those two games, I mean that's just the wear and tear on our pitchers, both of our pitchers' arms. So we just got to be strategic. So they were behind it 100%. So I was happy to have them, be. It's different when you have somebody behind you and you have a staff that believes in you. You can do anything, and so I feel like being in a position now to where I can coach. And the girls are, like I said, they're responding very well.
That's awesome.
So you brought up midweek games. I've seen a lot of different things about midweek games. How do you feel about the midweek games?
So the schedule was already done before I got here. So I didn't have any midweek games, which I we needed them. I think here and there, just because I needed to get some other girls some playtime. And then just kind of get a little bit of more push. But I feel like when we got into SWAC, midweek games, they needed to kind of, I wouldn't have wanted, if I had them on my schedule, I would have kind of tailored them off a little bit earlier. But I think maybe playing some mid majors like a JU, or we were supposed to play JU, but they canceled on us. A Troy, actually, who was that? Tuskegee called me today and said, "Hey, I need some more games. Do you guys want?" And I said, "Man, we're getting ready for SWAC, so there's nothing that I can't risk my girls getting hurt. I mean, they can get hurt any time, but we got to lock in. We got to get focused for SWAC tournament. So it's just one of those things where next year I've already started scheduling our games, so I'm gonna put in some midweek games." So we can just get a little bit of more of just quality at bats, more pitching. So I think that would be good for us for next year. But again, not as many, because I see some people playing, double header on a Tuesday, and then they got played Thursday, Friday. And it's a lot.
I think we lost Coach Beall for a second. While we're trying to get her back again, for everybody that has not been to a softball game, if you can, please get to a game. It is important. It's, as a matter of fact, it's strike season.
Yeah, I went to what was that? The Alabama A&M game last week. Yeah, I went to the Alabama. And I went to that night, and it was breeze. Like the wind was blowing. It was a good night to sit and just watch some really good ball.
And the games are really exciting. I don't know if y'all ever been to like a FAMU softball game, like they get involved.
I have.
They
yeah.
It's
that's one of the places I fell in love with FAMU is FAMU softball.
I feel like I probably missed out on a lot of atmosphere when it comes to sports.
We bet you did, Troy.
Hey man, you know what? I feel attacked.
Yeah.
It was not if back then. What you finna say, Marlo? What you finna say?
The atmosphere is legit. Down that rabbit hole.
Listen. It's a party. If you've ever gone to a FAMU softball game, it's a game. It's an event. You are cheering. You are singing. It's an event. So yes, I went to a softball game and I was like, I need to go to a few more. And there was other reasons. And first, you know what, Marlo? Don't judge me by why I got to church. Just say I got to church.
I did not judge. I
on my way to church, and he gonna judge me. Oh man.
That judge because
I think Coach Beall is trying to come back and Marlo coming back. While they're getting
I'm
back,
gonna just say this: softball, play softball. I play slow, but you see me.
Hey, we got Coach back. All right, we got Coach back. No, we were just while you were gone, we were talking about how the games are events. They're full blown events. Like again,
it's a party. It's a party.
See, so when I say it, y'all make it wrong. One of the reasons I fell in love.
Troy.
One day they were cheering. One day they were cheering so hard in the dugout. Like I felt bad for the other team. And I couldn't tell them to stop because they were too crunk. I couldn't even tell them to stop. I couldn't tell them they needed it. You can't bottle that. We were playing Alabama State, and they were cheering so loud. Something happened. They kind of came on the field, not came on the field, but kind of came out the dugout. And I thought, oh, yeah, it's serious. So if you've never been, you definitely should come.
I'm trying to tell them.
You gotta
You're not trying to listen.
Hey, TP, you gotta get that.
Yeah,
Listen,
TP.
That's what I'm hearing.
When I was a young man, I was asked to go to a softball game and had no clue what I was going to on that hill. And when I found out, I was like, I'm going to go to some more. This is why everybody get mad with me when I say it's not spring sports season, it's strike season. So when I say it's strike season, it's strike season. Softball, baseball, track, it's strike season. Because them the seasons where we be tearing everybody up. So I know it's a couple other things we're going to want to ask you real quick.
Okay.
From a fan's perspective, what can we do to help the team throughout the season?
Just be there. I think so far, it was one of those things where I just say FAMU probably didn't know who I was, and it was. I mean, that's human. A little skeptical about me coming in, and I think once we started showing like, hey, we're here to compete. I think that's when we started to get more fans in the stands and just a little bit more support. And so I just want everybody to know, like, we need these, especially this weekend. I know it's Easter weekend, but we need the support because Bethune, we got some payback for Bethune. So we need the fans to come out and support us. And then obviously the upcoming, school year is just about, donating to our foundation so we can get some athletes, so we can get some more equipment and do all those things that we need to do. So I'm really excited about our recruits. Right now we got a bunch of JUCO girls reaching out, which is good. And they can ball. I mean, when I tell you they can ball, they can ball. So I'm excited about having them be a part of us. And so just trying to finalize our recruits for the next school year and just making sure that we compete, win the SWAC. We're not comfortable with just winning the SWAC. We want to win a regional. So that's our goal. That was a goal that we had in the beginning of the season, is make sure that we win SWAC and then win a regional.
And if you've never been to the facility out there, it is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I love that feel.
Tell her why, Marlo. Tell the whole story.
No, I'm talking about the new field, not the old field. The new field is beautiful. The big snake out there is like it makes you feel at home as a Rattler to be out there on that field. It is it's beautiful.
Coach Beall, Marlo is probably my best friend in life. And while we were in college, he got me a job landside at the old softball field. Hey. This is when I realized this was not the career path for me.
Laying down side? No.
Yeah, no, I'm a programmer through and through. So yeah, that didn't work for me. But again, it's part of the deep connection that we have with Florida A&M. So when we get indignant, you can't say nothing about Mother FAMU because it will be indignant response.
I got something to say when Coach ain't on because they playing that school in Daytona. I got something to say about they.
I'm gonna
wait for Coach to not be
on. No, we are on our best behavior until Coach leaves, because that school in Daytona, when they won that game against us, they had a whole lot to say on Twitter, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Don't worry. I got him, Coach.
Okay. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
But anybody else have anything?
Can alienate a whole fan base on this show is Marlo.
And I try my hardest.
I have one question, Coach. What has the transition been for? What has the transition been for you? Coming from high school up to D1 college ball to coach?
Nothing, honestly. I mean, I needed an opportunity. I've been ready. I was ready. You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. I was ready. I just needed an opportunity. And I feel like I was probably ready. I was probably ready about probably 8 years ago, to make that transition. And I feel like, I started a program from nothing. And a lot of people downgrade, high school because it's high school. But I think my high school was just not a high school. Um, I've had every single one of my players go collegiate ball. So whether that be JUCO level, D2, D1, you name it, they've came out. So I mean, when we played all of the 7A schools in Orlando, we would go up and down, the state of Florida. So it's just one of those things where we beat junior colleges in the fall season. So we could compete for sure, hands down. I would take that team and play anybody in the state of Florida, and we could have beat them. Maybe even on the JUCO D2 level. So it was one of those things where a lot of people say, "Well, it's not high school, yeah, but the game doesn't change. You just got to be strategic about it, what you're doing, and making sure that you put all the pieces." And I was very blessed to have the foundation that Coach B left, because she did leave a great foundation. So I told the girls, they were nervous about me going on the portal after Christmas. And I said, listen, I am trusting that you guys can get the job done. And so we just roll with that. So the transition for me, has been smooth. The only thing that has been smooth, my family is in here with me, just because of I needed to come here and be focused. And, hats off to my husband being able to take care of, we got 3 kids, and him being able to allow me to, fulfill my dream. But I needed to be focused. I needed to, not have any distractions, or not feel guilty of why I stayed in the office so late, because there's been, even today, many times I stay in the office late trying to make sure that I'm doing, the right things, just like any new job. You got to find your feet, you got to dig and dig and dig. So, next year I'll be in a better space as far as really understanding, how the back stuff work. That way I can make sure that the back stuff is taken care of. And then, I can focus a lot more on, the field stuff.
Awesome.
So I've caught flack because when you were first introduced, I give everybody nicknames, and I said, "Oh, that's Coach Dimples." And to be fair, the very first picture we saw was Coach smiling, celebrating her state championship. So I went Coach Dimples, and everybody on here gave me a bad time about it, and I just want to be clear.
I got Dimples.
I didn't give you a bad time. I just said that is not her name.
Oh, so what would you have given me then?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have immediately called you Coach.
Good answer.
And left out the dimples.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it.
Boy, look at here.
I'm just saying.
I get the dimple. I get the dimples from my mom. She has dimples too.
See, there's nothing. Again, I happen to give everybody nicknames. It's nothing bad.
No, I don't take offense to it. No, not at all.
So, gentlemen, she is now dubbed Coach Dimples.
Oh no! Wait! You can't say it like that. wait!
Man, you said that.
Wait, the way you said it, no.
Man, you said it like she got invited to the round table, bro.
No, you can't say it like that. You can't say it like that.
See,
but
you should just say you have dimples. All right, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Coach Beall, it is.
Okay.
Anybody,
Thank you.
Doc, do you have a question for Coach before she goes?
There we go, Jordan.
What's up?
So how long did you coach in high school before making the transition?
17 years.
I did not
know.
We
was late to the party.
Yeah, 17 years. And like I said, I was offered, some jobs in the past, and it was just one of those things where the stars weren't aligning for me. And I am that type of person that if stuff don't add up, like I'm not going for it. And I couldn't be at that time. I feel like I couldn't be somebody's assistant at JUCO. Like that was not, I'm not trying to knock it or whatever, but I knew kind of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to move. So it was one of those things where I needed to strategically, and I needed to get a little bit more of the political part, of it underneath my belt, and understand, the highs and lows of coaching. So I think, God has me where he needs me to be. So whether it took 17 years, 5 years, 20 years, I'm here.
the highest of
She know
7
her
hills.
worth.
And we have a Jackson State on our podcast, so excuse him for being that late. I was a little bit late, but I had just.
But hey, Marla, I'm always here on time. Look, I had to cook my dinner for lunch, for my lunch before I go to work tonight. So you have to excuse my brethren right here for getting on me because most of the time he pop in and out.
Well,
now we need I am a Jackson State alum. I am Doc Holliday at HBCU Overdrive. We need our get back.
From who? Wait, hold on. Say that.
You talking to the wrong coach.
Say that one more time.
We need our get back.
You talking to the wrong one.
From
who? Hey, you heard, Coach? And Coach said from who?
We got something for y'all again.
Get that. It should. I know shaky. It should have been a sweep, but we won't talk. We
got one on you in Jackson. So look, but y'all won the series. But I like what you're doing with the softball program. And,
thank you.
It is all respect. You know what I'm saying? I've always talk noise to everybody over here. Especially Marlo, since we both don't like those alley cats.
Whoo! Wait till coach leave. I got something for them.
So that being said, Coach, again, I want to thank you for coming by the Gathering of Old Men podcast. We're gonna follow the program. I meant to ask before you go, which foundation do we need to donate to for the softball team?
You gonna ask me softball, of course, but I don't even know the number by heart. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's sad. That's even sad.
When we start building out the clips, I'll make sure I add the correct foundation to the link.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I have it, but I just don't know it by heart.
Okay. Again, Coach, thank you for coming out to the Gathering of Old Men podcast. Anytime you want to come back, we will definitely, like after you win the SWAC championship, we'll definitely have you back on.
And beat Jackson State, like beat them.
I'll be there this week.
Hey, don't worry about it. We'll see y'all wherever the softball championship is. We'll see them in the championship game.
Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. All right. Have a great evening.
All right.
You too.
No problem.
Oh man, that was pretty amazing.
Just wait for Coach to be gone. Them mother.
Say what you gonna say, Marlo.
Them some of them more bitches. No, they ain't talking shit to not my coach. What? See, I was just gonna cut him a little bit. Oh, fuck that. They gonna talk shit in that raggedy ass. That's why they playing in Sanford, because they don't have no facilities. These mofos. Okay, I'm gonna calm down.
You saw
how far is Sanford from
how
far is Sanford from Daytona?
30 minutes.
I don't know what the end of the game was.
It's 30 minutes.
Like maybe like 45, maybe 30 to 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, the baseball game going left. The baseball game going left.
From Daytona to Orlando for the classic. So hey,
the baseball game going left.
Man,
the baseball game going left. We got to come back.
A flea.
But his name not pitching. He's not gonna pitch until tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah, we got another pitcher injured. That was in. They said I forget which one they said. We got another pitcher injured who would normally be the Friday starter, but he injured. That's why we gave up them 2 runs in the first, and everything just kind of snowballed from there. The fact that it's just 8-2 is pretty amazing right now. But that being said, we talked briefly about what happened in Tallahassee.
Man, prayers out to everybody over at Florida State. And to those who lost a loved one, lost a child. again, it is not our job as parents for us to bury our kids. Our kids are supposed to put us in the ground.
Right now, so far, there are no students that have died. They haven't given us details on who has passed because I'm sure they're trying to reach out to family. And because of where this happened, this is a huge area. They're going to be doing investigations through this weekend. So everybody rushing to post stuff. Them people that want to post about who they thought was the shooter, I'm going to address y'all at the end of the show.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just what I said yesterday. I know you popped in. It's the court of public opinion on social media, man. Like, dude, y'all, until the facts come out, the person is proven innocent until guilty. Yeah. I'd rather be judged by 12 than be carried by 6.
It is this situation, like I said, is a fluid situation, and I'm gonna contain myself for the remainder of the show, and we'll revisit this later.
My daughter goes to the school where that officer was a resource officer. She told me, she called me. I called her after Troy called me and told me that it was going down. She called me back and said that their resource officer, that he broke into their house or broke into her gun safe and got weapons out of her gun safe.
Yeah, I read that right there. See, this all.
When was it reported, and why wasn't he apprehended? Did this happen all this morning and they couldn't find him?
I'm assuming that this happened, and again, this is all speculation, but I'm assuming this happened all this morning. And since we hear things that we haven't really been talked about much, there was supposed to be a joint group exercise between Tallahassee Police Department, Leon County Sheriff Office, and Florida State Police Department. This young man knew this. He was a member of one of their auxiliary organizations.
And his mama is the Leon County Sheriff. Right?
Yeah. So he knew all of this. Credit goes out to Florida State because a lot of people was ignoring the active shooter notification because it was already supposed to be exercises. So Florida State made sure that, hey, no, this is a real live active shooter. We got eyes on the shooter because they have cameras on campus now. So all of this, again, Florida State did the best they could. They did a very good job of alerting the student body at large that this was a real situation.
But you know what, though? All this came about, man, when Virginia Tech happened in 2007.
I said that, dude.
Yeah.
My statement today was... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and the second thing I need people to realize is the sheer size of Florida State.
It's big.
It's huge.
If you have never been to that campus, if you've never seen it, like I know what a student union is. A lot of my close friends went to Florida State, but if you don't know that area,
it's like a quarter of a Tallahassee right there.
Yeah, and it's in the middle. So where the shooting was taking place at is kind of like, and I hate to compare it to this. If you play open world shooting games, it's just like that. It's nowhere for you to go.
Yep.
So a lot of those kids were just like, it was like shooting into a pond. It was nowhere for them to go. Because by that time, they had already started locking stuff. Like the library's in that area, but the library was already locked. Yep. So those kids that were outside in between class were stuck.
It is, but by the grace of God, this wasn't worse.
You know what though? It sounds like so.
Yeah,
I've been reading up on what happened here in Dallas. Over Wilma Hutchins High School with the young man that went in there and she shot five students. So word on the street was that instead of him going through the main door in the main entrance of the school, somebody opened a side door for him to go through to come in with the gun. And he basically, in a sense, he basically targeted the people that he was looking for. And more likely what it was from what his own words was before he went to turn himself in was that it was a threat on his life. Somebody said one of the kids said that they were going to kill him. But at the same time, that does not give you your, you know what I'm saying, your God-given right. Yes, we Second Amendment, all the other stuff like that. But doesn't give you the right to carry a gun on the school campus because as a first class felony here in Texas, now you got a big ass felony in attempted murder, mass shooting.
So here's what's interesting with the state of Florida. It was but a few months ago that they were trying to push allowing guns on campus. It almost passed. It is. I remember the Virginia Tech shooting.
Oh yeah.
I remember saying we don't have Virginia Tech problems. We've had Virginia Tech problems twice now. It's twice. And the kids that are at Florida State now don't know what happened in 2014 because they weren't on campus. So they've been living, with the exception of the kids that came from Parkland and Florida State, they've been living in a world of bliss until today. That world of bliss is shattered. I never, my entire time at Florida State, and I was there a long time, my entire time at Florida State,
that you
experienced anything like that.
But you know what though? But you really think about this. We all at some point in time, we all grew up in the 80s and the 90s, right? We went to school in the 90s. We did not have no type of issue like that. We didn't have no type of problems like that at our respective institutions. It didn't start getting bad until, so I would say this, in 97, my freshman year at Jackson, it was a school shooting at Pearl. Pearl ain't number like 10, about maybe 6-7 minutes away from Jackson State. It was Pearl High School. Then you had like 2 weeks later, it was a shooting in Arkansas, in Jonesboro, at a middle school. And then you kind of fast forward, but then in 1999, it was Columbine. It was Columbine was put on a big ass put on a big ass scope because of what we heard, you know what I'm saying, 911 calls, and really what we saw, you know what I'm saying, is what we saw, what they put out there on news, the media outlets. And so it's like ever since then, a high school, a middle school, or elementary school has been, has been targets. The main one was the one that really, really irritated the fuck out of me was the Newtown, the Connecticut shooting with the elementary kid. Yeah. That Virginia Tech, and because it started to happen on the college campus. You know what I'm saying? But when it got to the point about an elementary school and the kid go up in there and he starts shooting innocent young kids, babies, I ain't got no respect, I ain't got no love, I ain't got nothing for you.
I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get to the happy, because I know I'm normally the person to say lead with love. My love is very difficult today. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is.
No, we don't lead with love in situations like this, Troy.
Yeah, I just we're gonna move on, but
they get it to basketball.
Yeah, the what just Anyway, first off, I want to start this segment off by saying that Steph Curry is him, Jimmy Butler is him, and the disowned Splash brother Klay Thompson is still him. It's still him.
Well, we knew Jimmy was him when he was in Miami, so
he still
we knew Jimmy was him when he was in Chicago.
We knew Jimmy was him. Exactly. We have known for a long time that Jimmy was him.
Jimmy had 21 points at one point. What was that in the second quarter? And I don't think he had that many shots. I think most of it was at the free throw line.
No.
He gets to the free throw line. He gets to the free throw line like 10 times a game.
So I don't. And then I don't listen. If Dallas ends up being the 8th seed, I just want everybody to understand they might not win the series, but Oklahoma gonna have problems.
Oh yeah,
2 7-footers, and again, that kid who don't know how to take care of his own physical person, he Chet gonna be in trouble. Chet gonna be in real trouble.
Who got 2 7-footers?
We do.
Dallas, they got 2 7-footers. What's the kid name? It's
got Derek Lively,
Gafford,
Gafford, and then AD at the 4. You could put Dwight Powell Dwight Powell play the 4. Dwight Powell could play the 5. We got, of course, if it's me, I'm putting let's just say we get past Memphis. I'm putting Klay Thompson on that ass on Shea.
You know what? I'm gonna be disrespectful. I want Dallas to get past Memphis.
All of them.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't pick them to get past the Kings, but watching the game, I quickly saw the matchup issues, the length the Mavericks presented the Kings with, and to couple that, Klay Thompson was hitting his open shots, and the Kings. I don't know what happened in that second quarter. That second quarter was the game.
Yeah, once that I watched it on my way to work last night.
Why did they fire old boy?
Who, Mike Brown?
Last coach they had. Yeah.
Was it Mike Brown? Because they started they was lagging and they was lagging. They was on a 4-game losing streak early in the season.
And who were they before he got there and damn near had them in a playoff spot?
The motherfuckers ain't made the playoffs since 2006, since the Weber Benny years.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And you see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah,
same shit with
Denver.
Same shit with
like this. So Mike Brown, he won the chip, right? First coach get fired this season. You turn around, you fire Mike Malone with 4 games left in the season because they went on a 4-game losing streak, but also what it was said that
it's Russ. They was mad about Russ.
They was mad about Russ. But why get mad at Russ is Russ showing you how to be a fucking professional. Like, that's the reason why him and Joker, it was cool like that. They cool like that because Joker wants to be great. He wants to win. He don't give a fuck about none of that bullshit. Like, he wants to win. Like, MPJ, you're a 3-point shooter. You don't bang in the paint. You know what I'm saying? You're a liability. Christian Braun is the only other person that plays defense on the perimeter. Aaron Gordon. I don't think he revived himself since the slam dunk contest. I'm just saying.
Aaron Gordon looked like the dude that ate Aaron Gordon. Let's tell the truth, man.
He out of shape. He out of shape. That's what I'm saying. It seems like since he lost that dunk contest to Zach, he ain't been himself. But don't get me wrong, he can score you 12 to 15 points a game to grab you 6-7 rebounds a game.
But
I don't play defense.
I mean, Eric Gordon always been a little chubby, but he fat now.
Yeah, he don't play defense.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
You got two frontline players who don't play defense. Michael Porter Jr., he can only do so much. And I forget what podcast he was on, and they was talking about, well, you 6'10", you could go down in the paint and bang and all that. No, he can't. He had a spinal cord injury. We are lucky he is in the league. When he got injured at Missouri, I didn't think he was going to make it to the pros. So, find your coach.
But at the same time, when MPJ, man, I don't care. That was he been in the league, what, 7, 8 years now?
Yeah, it's been 8 years now.
Okay. Between that time, you should both be getting yourself bigger and stronger. Yeah. At the same time, you want to live out on the perimeter, but you fucking 6'10". You better bang in the paint with them dudes to get some rebounds. Get you some, you know what I'm saying?
Or at least know how.
At least know how to do that. I ain't never met a 6'10" dude that averaged three something rebounds a game. Like, come on. Like, if you really want to say it with the Mavericks, hell, you got Dwight Powell that comes off the bench and he still give you 5-6 rebounds a game. Off the bench.
You know what? We're gonna circle back to this because we need to run through some NFL stuff real quick. First off, Aaron Rodgers. You know what?
You need to have a fuck Aaron Rodgers drop.
Oh no, that you know what? Hold on. We just need to go ahead and do it like this.
The disrespect segment.
Uh-oh.
So
IT.
So Aaron Rodgers said that he is not holding the Pittsburgh Steelers hostage. He hasn't decided whether or not he's going to retire or continue playing.
That motherfucker needs to retire.
If that ain't the definition of holding somebody hostage, and what's irritating me is that
that man also said that the COVID vaccine caused autism. Do we really believe anything he's saying?
And that's my Mike Tomlin going for this is part of my disrespect. Like, okay, dude, I get it. You the only coach that had a winning record your entire tenure in the NFL. That is amazing. I can't respect you no more because you're getting held hostage by one of the most, am I allowed to say punk ass?
Yeah.
Punk ass prima donna quarterbacks since Brett Favre. See?
But here's the thing. Both of them, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, are one and the same.
Exactly. That's my point.
They absolutely are.
He is following as much as he didn't want to be Brett Favre. You following right in his footsteps. The only thing you did different was instead of going to Minnesota, you trying to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers because they the only people that want you.
Or he ain't stole no welfare money either. So
because they're the only ones that don't have a choice right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't have a choice. What choice do they have?
Who would be the starting quarterback? Mason Rudolph?
That'll be the starting quarterback right now.
Oh, he trash. They should have just stuck with Justin.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't have no choice.
Justin Fields walk. Justin Fields.
Russell walk. You have not had a legit long-term quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger retired. Y'all, and that says a lot about Mike Tomlin and the franchise as a whole. They didn't even try to trade and get a halfway decent rookie to tie them over until they could draft somebody to keep that team afloat. They have not had the same quarterback since he retired for more than 2 years.
He could have went and got Teddy Bridgewater.
They went and got Kenny Pickett because he had a fake slide on national TV, and they assumed that was an athletic quarterback.
They could have went down to Miami Northwestern and got goddamn Teddy Bridgewater for a half for a goddamn
Teddy said he want to come back.
He wants to come back.
And Teddy said he want to come back. If I were Mike Tomlin,
I'm in his ear.
I would have called him as soon as he said, "Yeah, as long as I'm back for football season, high school. Hey, I'm on the way."
And this all feeds into this whole situation is messing up Shedeur Sanders' draft position because the Steelers waiting on Aaron Rodgers. The longer they wait, the higher it is going to be for them to move up.
I don't think that's even a possibility right there. Where
they sitting at in a draft position? 21.
I don't even.
Unless they trade TJ Watt, unless they trade TJ Watt to the top 5 teams, they're gonna be at 21.
There is no way in God's green earth, if I'm a GM in the top 10, that Pittsburgh can call me without TJ Watt and DK Metcalf. I need both of them.
Or even NFL young boy.
I don't know if I want NFL young boy.
Wait, who was NFL young boy?
George Pickens.
Oh yeah. We gotta have that in the trade. There's no way. There's just no way.
But now at that point, if you put all of that in a trade to get Shedeur, who the hell is he throwing the ball to?
Exactly.
Himself.
The stakes is high. Way too high.
Who throwing to?
Shedeur. If Pittsburgh move up.
If Pittsburgh move up, they got 2 receivers, so they can afford to lose one. Essentially, you trade one.
Because if you calling me and you Pittsburgh and you want inside of my top pick, I want the whole house.
I want some high.
So who is he going to throw the ball to?
And there's
no way you trade both receivers. I wouldn't even be asking for both receivers. So he would still have a receiver, is what I'm saying.
Well,
which one would you trade, though? That's the question.
Because
which one do you value more? That's subjective to what the organization feels. I think, if anything, I would get rid of George Pickens because of his attitude.
They did get rid of the other receiver because of his attitude.
Oh, Deontay Johnson.
You're going to rob football fans of him? You're going to rob football fans of him and DK crashing out together on Sunday?
Apparently.
Because somebody said nickname these people Crash and Out. Those are their names. You gonna rob us? We already don't have all jacked up no more because it's gone. They can't even hit each other too hard in this flag. So you gonna rob us of them crashing out together on Sunday?
Oh man! I mean,
I'm just saying
NFL
they slowly pulling all the excitement out of football anyway.
Yeah, NFL young boy and DK Metcalf. Crash out brothers.
No, what was Doc Holliday? What was the name of that Young Dolph album that he had with Key Glock? What's the name of it?
Oh,
was it Dumb and Dumber?
Oh,
there we go.
Dumb and Dumber.
There we go. DK Dumb and Dumber. There we go.
Oh man. So there's that. There are apparently new quarterback evaluations out for this draft, and there are some quarterbacks that can be had in the second round. And I re-looked at some Jackson Dart tape. If we can get Jackson Dart to Vegas, I'm all
That
for
would
it.
be a steal. That would be a steal if y'all can get Jackson Dart.
But they're saying it's only going to be 2 quarterbacks in the first round. If there are 3,
But
Dart would be the third.
I wouldn't sleep on Cal McCord either.
yeah, it's only gonna be 2 quarterbacks. It's only gonna be 2 quarterbacks in the first round. So y'all might actually have a chance to get Dart.
Dart, or even I can't believe I'm saying this out loud because you know how I
nobody-
feel about injury-prone quarterbacks. Louisville quarterback Schlaw, however you say his name. Yeah,
Tyler
I like
Schlaw.
I kind of like the way he throw the ball. I like the way he throw the ball. He only had 1 season healthy. That's the problem. So you give me, and knock on wood, you give me an Ashton Genty, a quarterback that can get time to develop, and I got a quarterback right now that don't do nothing but throw absolute play action passes. I'm cool.
Who's the quarterback for the Raiders?
The quarterback for the Raiders is Geno Smith.
Is he the future?
He ain't the future. He just a stopgap right now.
He just 2 years. He got a 2-year deal.
Then if we're not drafting a quarterback in the second round, we're not trying to win. Because there's quarterbacks that have value. And I honestly believe Jackson Dart is the best quarterback in the draft. I have not changed that stance.
No,
I'm not sold on Shadur Sanders' ability to read coverages. His ball flutters, and he's late with a lot of throws. And he holds the ball way too fucking long.
I don't think you're the only one that feel like that. Some scouts feel like that.
That's why we've seen his stock falling. And I hate the narrative that was created that, oh, it's only because he's Deion's son and he's really not that good and all that. Like that ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? People placing misplaced hate on him. I think the criticism is warranted when you're a quarterback that's supposed to be going in the top 5. You're gonna be criticized.
Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have the ball in your hands.
At the end of the day, you touch the ball every play. Every play. This isn't. I don't need somebody that I have to worry about when I put them on the field whether or not they're going to make the right decision. And I'm talking about in the run game. I'm talking about in the play action game. Because what I've seen, please don't have that man turn his back to the defense. Please don't. And it better be a one. It better be a one read to where he turning around and letting it fly.
And here's the thing, though, TP. He ain't played in. So here's the criticism for him, right? His 4 years in college, he has had 4 offensive coordinators. He had every year he been in college, he has had 4 offensive coordinators.
I would say the worst offensive coordinator he had, not this past year, but the year before, you had an offensive coordinator who was a run first coach who wanted to fast-paced run. That's what the offense was supposed to be. It was supposed to be fast-paced run. But again, you don't have an offensive line, so you can't run that system. So now the system you're supposed to run has now changed into drop back every play and make something happen.
Here's another. My bad, Troy. But here's another thing, though. He has never did any type of play action passing in his whole 4 years of playing in college. Because his first 2 years at Jackson State was supposed to be somewhat of a version of the air raid, right? So remember, His first season, he was sacked 35 times because we didn't remember 21. Our offensive line was trash. We didn't have no running game like that. He was the whole, you know what I'm saying? Remember, he was the whole offense.
Yeah, because
that's the reason why when we played.
That was that year that Smitty Rock. That was that year Smitty Rock sent Marquise Bell back there on the blitz and almost took that man's head off.
It was in a damn hurricane storm shit. 7-6. But it was a good game. It was a good defensive game, right? Second year at Jackson, they went away.
Yeah, that game was. But on both sides of the ball, both offenses was about the same. So that game was heavily defense influence. It was good though.
Yeah, and then
that probably was the best game out of
it was the whole best game that he ever had. Yeah, he goes to they bring in Brett Bartolone because he's supposed to be like Bartolone was a disciple of the Mike Leach system, the air raid system. His Mike Leach's version of the air raid system. Because remember, Mike Leach got the version of air raid. It tweaked it a little bit from Hal Mumme.
Yeah.
Remember, he was coached under Hal Mumme. Now, the thing is, yes, he threw the ball a little bit more. He threw for more yards. He threw for more touchdowns. But the thing about it is, he was only sacked 23 times, and he had a running game. The offensive line was way better in 22 than it was in 21. He gets to Colorado. What's the issue? Offensive line. The boy was sacked over 60 times and got hurt in the UCLA game because they damn near broke that boy hip. Like, I don't care what anybody say. Y'all can say anything bad about Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly said, fuck that. We going to bring the defensive pressure. And they brought defensive pressure and set that dude damn near 11 times in that game. Then he didn't have a running game. He still didn't have a running game this past season. And it was all on him. But the thing about it is his completion percentage kept going up every year since he's been in college. His interceptions has always been at the same, maybe 5, 6, you know what I'm saying? 7 at the most. He's never thrown, he ain't an interception machine. But yes, TP, we do know he holds on to the ball too fucking long because he's trying to get the receiver open, develop a play. You can't do that in the NFL because you got defensive ends / outside linebackers that can run a 4.3 and get to your ass at 2.5 seconds.
And that's
and he's not that fast.
Yeah, he's not that fast.
My only gripe with him,
but
with everybody else.
But
go ahead.
It's like we said on this show. The quarterback's job is to throw the ball. It's the receiver's job to get there. So I'm throwing the ball the way you're supposed to be, whether you there or not. Get there. That's your job.
Well, I mean, that's part of it, but it has to be an accurate ball. It has to be on time, and your anticipation has to be top tier if you're throwing the ball expecting your receiver to be at a certain place. Because there's a lot of times when you have these deep end cuts and you let it rip and your receiver ain't there and you didn't anticipate him not being there, you didn't sail the ball straight to the safety. Those are game changing plays. And then when we go back and look at it, it's like, man, who the hell is looking at? Like, we've seen it. Baker Mayfield does it all the time.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston definitely does it. But I've seen Baker Mayfield do it a bunch of times. He lost y'all the playoffs like that. He threw it straight to the linebacker. Like, don't get me started, Marlo, because you know I got receipts.
Both of them lost them a playoff game.
They both
at the same time. You think about it too.
Jameis ain't never been there.
You think about it too. If you also think about it too, those deep out routes.
You gotta have an arm strength for those.
You gotta have an arm strength, especially from the far hash.
I think so.
And I'm not sold. I'm not sold on the delivery method. I'm not sold on the arm strength or the accuracy. Matter of fact, I give him the accuracy. He's a very accurate quarterback when he stands in the pocket. and he delivers the ball with nobody around his feet. That's not going to happen in the NFL.
I'm going to say this. I like his anticipation. I have a question mark about his arm strength to the outside hashes. And I know the patting of the ball. Everybody wants to downplay the patting of the ball.
I don't give a fuck about the patting of the ball.
I'm about to say, Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He pat the ball. He had
before you shoot. Before y'all shoot, let me just say this. There are still cornerbacks in this league, contrary to some New England.
And Eli pat the ball.
There's still some quarterbacks that do bicycle step. There's no false step. They jump in routes. So
if you're looking in the backfield as a cornerback in the NFL, Jamel Dean, your ass is gonna be sizzling. Carlton Davis.
I tell you the biggest gambling cornerback in the league right now is Jaylon Johnson for the Chicago Bears. Nobody attempts more jump routes than him, but he's smart enough to know when to do it. And this isn't just I'm gonna just freelance and just dive on any out route or any curl route. I'm coming up full speed. He's one of those guys that actually studies the game, is a student of the game. And when you pat the ball against him, he coming. And I promise you, if you still throw that ball, you ain't got the arm strength to out throw his break on. It's going the other way, and then probably gonna be for 6.
Soon as a receiver breaks it out of his route, he's sitting on it though.
He's sitting on it. He's sitting on it. I love watching Jaylon Johnson play cornerback over there.
I think what's gonna do the same. I know Deron Bland does the same thing too for the Cowboys. He will just for him that first year when he got all those interceptions was because he was sitting on the damn route.
He was just sitting on routes.
You sitting on the route.
But what happened in that playoff game?
Man, he got burnt. Don't even worry about that. I cussed his ass out.
They made Jordan Love.
He got Shaquille O'Neal barbecue chicken.
They made Jordan Love look like prime Aaron Rodgers. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never seen players that wide open. Never in my life have I seen guys that wide open.
Bro, it was tragic. I was like,
that was the worst exhibition of defense I've ever seen.
I'm telling you, Christian Watson gave him lunch meat.
First of all,
5 to 10 yard separation in the NFL is crazy.
That was the defense that gave up 500 and some yards to Atlanta team.
It was because they gamble. They gamble too much. But that's that's my point though on these, on some of these DBs that love to jump routes. When you're wrong,
it's six the other way.
Hold on. I'm trying to get us along.
I'm gonna tell you who else loves jump routes too on the Cowboys. Goddamn Trayvon Diggs love to jump a down route, but he get cooked. He get his ass cooked too.
Yeah. Everybody gonna get cooked.
But which one of y'all want Jalen Ramsey? That's what I'm trying to get to. Because Jalen Ramsey is on the trade block.
I've been done with Jalen Ramsey since he was at Florida State.
Hey, he come back to Jacksonville. He come back to Jacksonville
like that.
I was never sold on him. I watched DeAndre Hopkins cook him on a weekly basis.
But that's because he was in the relationship in Jacksonville. He told his ass in Jacksonville. And that's probably why they're not even going to call him to be like, hey, bro, come back, play this last season, go on the farewell tour, and retire and go home.
Fuck him.
Go on the tire and do all.
Hey, retire the whole county. That's why y'all coach. That's why y'all coach can't even say it right.
Man, that's why that's a ANC hate.
You know what? There. You know why that is?
He can say it right now.
That's a Bucks coach. That's why he can't say it. He a Bucks coach.
Can't say it
and that's because we got his ass from Tampa Bay. That's a him problem.
First of all, he was only there 1 year. So he ain't no damn Bucks coach. He coached in Tampa and got his ass on.
And he was there. Hey, Tampa Bay ownership signed 12 paychecks. How about that?
Bruce Arians can say he's the coach.
Yo,
Wow.
Marlo will never hesitate to deny responsibility for somebody.
Paychecks, though. He had an office with him.
His ass can't say
that ain't my guy.
Jameis Winston has been having the best year ever.
I said, now how the hell ain't nobody be like, bro, you know where you going? Say Duval. No, y'all just let him get up there like that.
Hey, y'all see Jameis Winston out there working out in the backyard with no shoes on? That's a country dude there. Like, I don't give a fuck. That's an
Alabama
guy.
dude right there.
Yeah.
Bro.
All day.
Bro, don't need shoes. Hey.
Hey, what's wrong with being outside with no shoes on, though? Hold on.
Get it. Hey, get it.
What's the problem?
I ain't got no problem with it. I did it. I played football in a parking lot with no shoes or socks on. What do you mean?
You can listen. You can take your shoes off and play. But if your mama catch you trying to go in the house with no shoes on,
hey, that's what I'm saying. You better not mess them shoes up. That's why. Look, that's why the bottom of my feet rougher than alligator leather, bro. Like I'm telling you, we used to be out there, 100 degrees, concrete, hot as fuck. Hey, that concrete make you run faster. I promise you.
It do.
Hey, you know.
Too.
Hey,
you be trying to avoid
football.
You be trying to avoid cars, parked cars, and everything outside on the street. Hey, man,
bro,
I need you to go long. I don't need you to go nowhere around. Go long.
Hey, look. Hey, don't be running down the sideline next to them cars that think you're gonna get put on one either.
You finna eat that car.
Sideline bus. You run over there, I'm hitting your ass out of bounds. You're gonna be on something. You're gonna be a windshield marker.
You better not break nobody's mirror either, because you're
gonna
get a
telling you, if I did, I'm out. You think I was running fast on that route?
I done broke a couple of mirrors, man. I'm sorry. Like, hey, I'm sorry.
Hey, look.
Hey,
so
I gotta laugh about no shoes on, but hey, some of the best football players in the country came out of the muck, and they would tell you they chase rabbits. They chase rabbits.
Man, listen, I got family from Belglades, and my mama used to love to go down there because they used to get raw sugar cane. So when we used to go down there, I had a cousin that went to Belgrade Central. They always used to want to run. We ain't running on regular streets. Like, all the grass is dang near soggy. It's swamp, but not really swamp. You know what I'm saying? It's literally what they say the muck is. That's what it is. I ain't used to like to run against them. My feet be hurt. I'm tired. I was like, you ready to go? Mm-hmm.
It's the muck. But
they used to, oh my God, the meals used to be epic. Like, epic. You have soup it was like Thanksgiving soup. You might have rabbit, chicken, turkey.
Whatever come out of the muck, that's what you get.
That was the soup. And you went to sleep full. But, all right, I got a question. I got a math question for y'all. If I have 2 million and now I got 1.7 million, is that a good thing?
What?
Cheated yourself.
If I have 2 million and now I got 1.7 more million, is that a good thing?
I got 1.7 more.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Oh, that's a good thing.
And now I live in a state with state income tax while I'm collecting all this money. And not only in the state income tax, the highest state income taxes in the country.
So
about California?
Yes. So I'm talking about here's the other thing, he home. And the reason
I told y'all that's where he was. Look, I told y'all he was going to UCLA 2 days ago.
And
you think Tulane was gonna put out that money like that?
No, Tulane was never in the mix.
No, I told
Tulane was a
look
smoke screen. It was
when
always
we talked
UCLA.
about this on Tuesday, I said he's going to UCLA. They're the only team that even makes sense in this whole debacle of a situation.
TPI
But
do you one better. I bet you $1 to a dime UCLA reached out to him while he was still at Tennessee. $1 to a dime.
I wouldn't doubt
Probably
it.
did. They probably did.
I bet you they did.
You
I would bet you they did too.
UCLA is trying to get some kind of respect back because they have been horrendous for years. And bringing in Nico, he's a good kid. He has a great arm, all that. He just has made very bad decisions in key game situations. So if he can fix those issues, the intangibles, you know what I mean? He has the opportunity to go over there. I forgot what division they're in now.
They're in the Big Ten, but I don't
In the Big Ten.
know.
They
I
are.
don't know how they, yeah, I just don't know how they call it, how they break it out.
They don't have divisions.
They don't have division no more. Or then yeah,
No.
then he good. They just got to be in the top two. Because not to worry,
you can make it to the playoff being the fourth or fifth team in the Big Ten.
Because we all know
that don't even matter.
Penn State gonna blow it.
There you go. Ain't Drew Allen coming back? Drew Allen's coming back.
Yep.
Is the coach
that whole
coming
offense is coming back?
Is the coach coming back?
Look,
James
I'm gonna tell you
Franklin
like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. Penn State right now, they have the best team in the Big Ten based on their offense. I get it, they losing Abdul Carter to the draft, but you're not gonna find a better backfield than Drew Allen, Singleton, and number 13. I can't think of his name right now. Keytron. No, Keytron. It's not Mitchell. Keytron Allen. Those two running backs and Drew Allen. No, you're not gonna find a better three. I really like the receiver up there at Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith might actually turn out to be the best receiver to ever come out of college.
He'll be a Blitnikoff Award winner.
I just want to make sure we get this right. James Franklin at one point had Michael Parsons, and he had Phillies running back Saquon Barkley.
They ain't have a quarterback.
What they had? McSorley?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
McSorley was a quarterback?
Yes, and he was terrible.
TP, they had an NFL caliber quarterback. They could have won. They were better than Penn State and Michigan.
McSorley was terrible. And I'm gonna tell you like this: every time those lights got real bright, that man disappeared.
But
when they had their whiteout game.
That's every QB from Penn State. That's every QB from Notre. That's every QB from Notre Dame.
Hey! He showed up against Penn State this past season.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
He showed did shit a brick in that damn national championship game.
They was gonna do that though,
man. They could not, bro. So Notre Dame's offense is built around the ability to run the ball.
Yeah.
Talik Williams is an unmovable object. They could not move 91 out the middle. There was literally nothing they could do. And when they couldn't do that, we already know that the quarterback for Notre Dame didn't have like the prolific arm. Their best receiver is a guy named Greathouse, who a lot of people haven't been talking about as far as being a high draft pick. Very good player, very good teammate. But they didn't have the athletes on the outside to beat those NFL caliber cornerbacks that Ohio State had, matched with the inability to run the ball. Talik Williams
they couldn't stop the they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop.
And then they couldn't stop bro. Quishon Judkins had 3 touchdowns. Like they were demolished in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Ohio State completely dominated them with the front 7 on both sides. So
what's the dude name? What's the dude name? Come out the end. Was it Sawyer?
Oh yeah, Jack Sawyer couldn't block him. Can't fucking block him.
he made them look like little kids out there.
They got pressure on the quarterback with 3 people most of the game. We want to talk about how the Eagles did the Chiefs rushing 4. Hell, Ohio State came out and rushed 3 and still stopped the run with 7 or 8 DBs on the field. Like, so, there was nothing they were going to be able to do. Like, it didn't make sense.
So, TP, since we kind of
would have gave them a better game. I'm sorry.
So, as we go into this season, Ohio State has been pretty much the way too early number 1, right?
They don't have a quarterback.
If Ohio State, I understand that, if Ohio State happens to win another national championship, is Michigan's coach on the hot seat?
No. I tell you what. If Ohio State don't beat Michigan, Daly's on the hot seat. I don't give a fuck if he win another national championship.
I agree.
His seat just got cool because he did win that national championship. He didn't win the Big Ten, remember that? So, I mean,
you didn't win the Big Ten, and you didn't beat Michigan. They're natty and look cute. You better beat that team up north if you want to keep your job.
We in a new era of football. Coaches gotta win, especially in certain conferences, because if you don't win, it costs you $45 million. And then
I tell you what, if Sarkisian don't win it with Arch Manning this year, he's gonna be having a look for employment. Because I'm gonna be done with your ass.
I knew that was coming. I didn't know if it was coming.
Oh, we here. Sarkisian,
I'll be right back. I'm about to switch over to my phone.
If Sarkisian is not able to figure it out,
baby on the way. He need his job, bro.
I don't want to hear none of that shit. You supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. You had Quinn Ewers out there looking shook half the time. No, he didn't figure it out. Where did he figure it out? Where we figure it out? Because we didn't figure it out against Ohio State.
Hey,
we went out there.
Y'all made it to the playoffs.
We did, and when we had opportunities to win, and when we had it don't matter because we had ample opportunities to win that game. We had ample. The defense carried us all year. The defense carried us. When we played Georgia, we was on Carson. Why you think Carson Beck ain't in Georgia now? Why you think Carson Beck ain't in Georgia now? He ain't want to see Texas again. He got the fuck up out of there.
Carson Beck did not turn pro because he cost himself money. Quinn Ewers didn't turn pro because he cost himself money.
Hey, no. Honestly, I think Steve got a little bit outcoached in that last game. Because I'm like, hey, Steve, turn it on. No. You just go
that's my problem.
Okay.
He's gotten outcoached. You're making my case for me. You're making my case for me. He got outcoached. He allowed himself to get outcoached. He
definitely got outcoached that last game.
He allowed himself to get outcoached.
You know what feel good? It feel good that I don't have to worry no more that if my coach don't act right, that he gonna be able to hang around. I know that's no longer the case.
Who?
I know since we signed that agreement and we getting our new money, that if he go out and lay another egg this year, it ain't even me, TP. It ain't even me leading the way with the fire the coach. I'm not even the one who want to fire the coach. It's the boosters that actually put money into the program that want to fire the coach. It ain't even me. Do y'all know how good that feels?
It's me, Mario.
Hey, he was at Big House and hamburgers tonight, so
that's that ultimate hater.
It's not me though.
I know, but you should not be this happy that somebody want to fire the person you want to get fired. You should not be this happy.
Listen, when you right and people keep telling you wrong, And then all of a sudden, you know what, dog? You was right.
Shit, I was so happy when FAMU didn't renew McCullough's contract. I don't know what. I was leading the fire that man chant 2 years ago. Fuck you mean?
I get hate on this very podcast because I had the unmitigated gall to suggest that we put for sale signs on a coach house because he had a losing season 3 times out of 5.
But he still live there. He still live there. You want to put for sale signs on somebody's house that you can't sell.
I'd have put a for sale sign on his house with Mike Jones' number on it.
But this is all. It is all.
Yep.
It is all understanding because I am a very firm believer. Like, you gotta know what you're walking into, right? And everything that we were told about Mike Norvell was a lie. Do y'all understand that the 2023 class that he brought in that had all those talented wide receivers, all of them gone. Didn't develop one.
Yep.
You are now in an area where if my quarterback is 5'8" and my 6'7" wide receiver walk out the door, I got a question. When my 6'3" receiver walk out the door, I got a question. And I know people are like, oh, well, it's on, and I'm one of the main ones. It's only April. Give them time to do their job. What I'm seeing leave out the door. And this ain't all a Mike Norvell question. Because there needs to be a question for the GM, Michael Ray. I think it's his name, Ray. Y-R-A or Y-R-A-Y is his last name. The GM's job is to make sure that the coach has the money to assemble the squad that he needs. There is a collective out there that will and has made it known that they will be operating after this house agreement. So if you can't get the money from the collective, what's going on? Like, what are we doing? Because it's cute when everybody hollering about Florida State ain't got no money. But we know what they sitting on in that collective. We know what they just reported. Somebody ain't giving over no money. And I'm not saying that there is a alumni revolt yet. But you just sued the ACC and basically won. I don't see no 5-star quarterbacks signing on to the team.
I'm gonna tell you why. If I'm a 5-star quarterback, I'm not finna go to a school that hasn't addressed their offensive line issues since Mike Norvell been there. They've always recruited undersized offensive linemen. Like they don't have no people movers. Why I'm gonna go there? And it ain't like they didn't have the talent at running back. But when you're running back, they're not averaging 2, 3, 4 yards a carry. That means they playing on the wrong side of the ball.
I think, did we average 12 points a game?
I'm just saying that your offensive line, you can go to any school, any high school in the country and say, come to Florida State. We'll make you a star. And we'll get drafted as an offensive lineman out of that program. But he ain't did that.
Because the high school coaches don't like him.
Because they are putting 280-pound kids at offensive linemen and they don't have no people movers.
You gotta have some guys that can move, folks. You got to like
Georgia blew them off the ball. That shit wasn't even close.
Georgia offensive line averages 330 pounds. Alabama's offensive line averages 345 pounds.
So, what y'all think finna happen if we go play Alabama
and they get blown out the ball?
They go get dominated in the trenches. What do you mean?
And what y'all think I'm gonna do the very next Thursday?
What do you think? Like again, what do you think happened to Alabama? Not to Alabama, to Notre Dame when they played Ohio State. They got dominated in the like. This is a story old as time. All the way back to when football was 4 yards in a cloud of dust. It is built around your trenches. If you cannot dominate the line of scrimmage, you cannot dominate the game. Unless you got the fastest guys on the planet, like Oregon did back in the day with Chip Kelly, because they were just too fast. When they still had NFL talent on the O line, they were just smaller. They had the quicker guy, the Penny Sewells and stuff. They could move. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna run that zone blocking scheme, I don't need no 360-pound guard. I need a 305 to 280 guard that's gonna be able to move and get to those linebackers. It's all based on the type of offense you're trying to run. And again, going back to last year, Florida State had no identity. They didn't know what the fuck they wanted to do. Are we a zone stretch team? Are we a power team? Are we a drop back and pass team? They had no fucking clue.
They still don't know who they are.
But Castellanos, Castellanos is an option style quarterback. So they better have some guys that can move. They don't need the 250-pound. Like, you ain't putting nobody 250. That's too small. That's crazy. 280 to 300. We can do something because we got a quarterback that's gonna move. It's not based around power. That running back Tuafalua, fast. Get on the ball in space. You have talent. How are you gonna use it? This is the question.
I'm gonna say this, right? And again, this is not on the player because I don't judge college players and their development. This is on the coach. If you didn't want this kid at Central Florida and Boston College didn't want him, and he's now at Florida State, somebody has got to make a valiant effort to develop him into the quarterback that needs or will be successful in the future. Point blank, period.
We got to figure out this spring, can he throw the ball? From now until August, we got to be figuring out what can we do outside of just option. We saw the what's the word? So Navy and Army, right? Historic option team. They found passing this year. Like after all these years, they found it. And it worked. And what did we see? We saw the best years in the Naval and Army academies that we'd ever seen. Going all the way back to when they was dominant back in the 40s. When Navy played Notre Dame, we saw the clear athletic gap between D1 college teams and the service academy. This isn't a knock on any of the guys on those squads, but we saw the disparity between the two. So I think Navy and Army are on the right track because now they done found a little something. So now they're going to be able to recruit a little better, for the football programs to try to get the athletes that they're going to need to compete at the next as they elevate, because they done got to here. We can compete. We can blow out all of these mid-level teams. Now we got to be able to beat the top level team. Because if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and you got to have the talent and the know-how to do it. But Florida State has to figure out whether or not this quarterback they have can throw the ball, because you're not going to beat all these ACC teams just running the ball. You're not going to go into Clemson and dominate them in the trenches the whole game and just run option over and over and expect to win. That's not going to happen. You're not going to go to Miami and do that.
I'm going to say this. If I wake up in October and we lost to Miami, and I wake up after a good Thanksgiving dinner, and that Saturday we done lost to Florida, I do not expect to see our coach the next season. But I'm gonna get off that.
Y'all gonna play Miami and Carson Beck gonna throw for 360 and 4 touchdowns. I'm calling it now.
Wow. Somebody definitely not gonna make it out of Miami. So the University of Pennsylvania is in the process of creating a NIL collective for their basketball program. If Penn starts down the collective road for their basketball and football program, the FCS is in trouble. They have a different level donor. Different level. And I make like little jokes about how Howard got ran off the field against who did they play? Princeton? Was it Princeton or Yale? One of those. They already have good football teams. And now they're going to have money and they're going to give out collective money when the players don't have football scholarships. Do you know how much more money they could do? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But
do they pride themselves on being able to play football at Penn?
No.
No.
Like I get it, it's an Ivy League school. And
they just want to beat the other Ivy League teams.
And this is a smart way to go about it, you know, in the sense that you gotta you pay. How can I say this? There's less players on a basketball team that you have to worry about paying. So if that's the focus to build your school up, is to invest in a basketball team, and hopefully that contributes to you being able to bring in more money as a collective, not just the NIL collective, but as a school, then that money will start trickling into the other sports. So it's a start. And I think every school that wants to be competitive should have an NIL collective, just based on the current metrics of NCAA as a whole.
I told y'all, I mess around and hit this Powerball, I'm gonna be a whole problem. Again, I'm gonna be a good holy problem. God help me.
Josh,
I was gonna say you just messed it all up. Talking about something, I'm gonna be a whole problem. You not supposed to tell that in the universe that you're gonna be a problem with money.
I'm sorry. I should do better.
You should say I'm gonna help a whole lot of kids.
Hey, if the universe don't understand AAVE by now, that's
I just know. Just know.
With a whole lot of kids.
And even if I don't hit a Powerball, I'm gonna figure something out. Help is on the way. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna figure something out. Help is on the way. It's so much just happened this week. Like so much happened this week. I might have missed something. If I missed something, y'all help me if I miss something. Because right now I'm still a little perturbed that we the Alley Cats beat us in baseball, and it's a long weekend. You know, we got a chance to bounce back tomorrow.
Nah, but a lot did happen this week, but I think today is just ruining everybody's memory of all the stuff that happened this week.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Those outside of the Charlie Ward news, I can't remember anything.
and real quick. So for everybody that know, because I know people like to start rumors and whatnot. There was a national Zoom outage. We are in the state of Florida. We have a sunshine law. So if any of the school board of trustees have a meeting, it must be public. Because of that,
Yep.
they have to make another announcement. And then it takes a week from the announcement so everybody can get the Zoom link and see the meet. Nothing has changed. Charlie Ward is still going to be the head basketball coach. It's just the law. Yeah, Marlo is definitely in his truck.
Oh, my bad.
I feel like I know Florida isn't the only state with a law like that. Like I just know we're not the only state with a law like that, and everybody else is being willfully obtuse.
They are. They absolutely are.
I think the Charlie Ward hire is probably whoever pulled that one out. They did some good research because he is a hometown kid that is literally grew up, born and raised from the area, and he split the line. He can recruit in Florida and Georgia. Like, what are we talking about here? This is
Ain't that what I said? Ain't that exactly what I said in the chat?
Yeah.
this is a great hire.
That's exactly what I said in the group chat, right?
So I'm gonna keep it 100. That is exactly what you said. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Before the last AD hired Patrick Query. Before the last AD hired Patrick Query, you can search my Twitter. I said it then. Charlie Ward.
Yeah, you've been talking Charlie Ward for a while.
I said Charlie Ward. When this shit kicked off with that man this year, who did I say again?
You said Charlie Ward.
But he's been
Charlie
balling in. He's been balling in high school, like as a coach.
I had to look at the game. So Florida High. Why don't y'all have the games online?
The last AD, she didn't have any ties here, so she didn't. That's a good one. But Marlo, the last AD had no ties to this area, no ties to the school. I highly doubt she even knew who Charlie Ward was.
Yeah,
it is.
That's crazy.
And that's not a diss or disrespect. You don't know who you don't know. That's fine.
Well, after we talked to Coach Beall,
I highly doubt she even knew who he was to even say, "Hey, do you want to come to coach this school?"
After we talked to Coach Beall tonight, I have belief that people wait for high school coaches to get 15, 20 years and get all these wins and whatnot before they actually give them a shot. The last AD was here when Charlie Ward won the state title. Florida High is well, it's not across the street anymore, but it's in town. So there was buzz.
And before he got to Florida High,
Avenue all the way to the end, you were damn near running through.
But before he got to Florida High, he was coaching in Thomasville.
Yeah. So I'm not giving anybody a pass on who you don't know. Yeah, I don't.
His old high school.
Yeah, I'm not giving nobody a pass on.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this. My concern was the style of play in the SWAC is changing, and that was my concern. So I dug high and low to look for a game that Florida High played, and it just happened to be the state title game. And oh, by the way, that guard that he sent to Auburn, and then he went to Michigan, that young boy is in the transfer portal right now. And I know a lot of people say, I don't know if we're going to get him.
Come on,
I watched every portal signing. He is not signed in the portal yet. And he played for Charlie. Oh, by the way, Charles sent another guard of Missouri. So we know he can develop players to be Division I players. And oh, by the way, his style of offense is the new style of offense that they play outside in.
He retired from the NBA.
I know. I'm just saying.
Like you can't get more valid than that. As a kid looking up, wanting to learn from somebody who's done it on the highest level possible. Like there aren't very many coaches that's out there that play in that game and knows what it takes to get to that level. He is. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. Like it's a no-brainer.
This is a slam dunk hire. Like I've done my due diligence because I get overly excited about coaching hires. I was calm on purpose and went through a process before I jumped on the bandwagon because I wanted to make sure. Because I'm Florida State, so he'll know I'm going to immediately go, oh, he's a great hire. I got to act like I got some journalistic integrity. I got to go through the process. And I went through the process. And I like it.
I don't have to act. I act like me. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't.
So, but, yeah. Anything I missed? Anything I missed today?
All I'm saying is we got our guy.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Today stood still, man.
Yeah. It's all right. So give us a quick moment. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna give y'all some laughter. I think we just all deserve some laughter right now. As this was unfolding onto the internet, because I thought this was some kind of hoax.
Yep.
As it was unfolding, it turned out to be real. A gentleman, we're going to call him Matt, responded to a Steve Smith post of him golfing by saying, "Does your wife and kids know you're sleeping with my wife?" He then proceeds to post screenshots of text messages between him and who we assume is his wife. These text messages are quite graphic and quite embarrassing if you are said spouse. Because again, in the era of Twitter, there is no shame.
We need to bring it back.
Some key issues that Marlo might want to discuss is the quote.
I'll get it.
You was so deep, you moved my IUD.
That sounds about right.
So
obviously, she's used to dealing with a short knocker, and he was not. he didn't have the proper equipment. First of all, this is my whole problem with the whole thing. Why, as a man, why would you call another man and record it just to put it on the internet that you recorded talking to him, that he had then dug a pothole in your wife?
So before I start, Thuney.
Short knock and pothole never get old.
Thuney, I'm broadcasting right now. It ain't quiet on these streets. I'm broadcasting. I see your tweets. I'm broadcasting. Game 2 is tomorrow. We'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Right now, I'm broadcasting.
Wait a minute. Is that somebody from Bethune?
Yeah.
their baseball facility at? Because I know it ain't in Sanford.
It's in Sanford.
Oh no, that ain't theirs. They don't have shit on that facility that say Bethune-Cookman.
That's where they're playing the game, Marlo. I know I'm going down
That's
a
a
bad
that's
road.
a that's a runner field. People ain't got no field to play on, and they happy they won a game. Okay, okay.
Yeah. That being said, again, I want to thank Coach Beall for coming on the show. Again, we will post the softball, the foundation link for the softball. That will be included in clips for the show, so we can make sure that everyone is aware where to donate to help the softball team. Oh man, for everyone at Florida State, again, thoughts and prayers. I know I absolutely hating that, but yeah, it is what it is. Ooh. So this week, I should probably have like an uplifting message, but I don't. Right? I don't have anything good to say. I'm angry. I'm pissed off. It is so much going on in the world that kids need to be able to go to school carefree. I went to school in the 90s. When I was in school, we was the number one part of school, 3 years running. I didn't have a care in the world, which is probably why it took me so long to graduate. But that's how life is supposed to be when you're young. When you're young, you should not have to deal with, I have to call my parents to let them know I'm alive. My two middle children are in Tallahassee. My two grandchildren are in Tallahassee. I did not even know that there was an active shooter, but for me being in a Twitter group chat and a screen popped up, I immediately went into panic mode. I called Marlo. I told Marlo. I called my oldest son and I called my daughter. I don't know how I feel other than angry. Florida State is in the state capitol. At the top of one of the hills that leads to a back road to Florida State, you go straight to the Capitol. There is a straight line to the Capitol. This happened, and I'm sure the state government was on lockdown. You can't tell me otherwise. Yet, they saw fit with one of their legislative sessions to outlaw porn as opposed to make reasonable gun legislation. And I don't care what side of the world you're on. I don't care if you pro-gun or anti-gun. Reasonable gun legislation should not be something we're still thinking about. And it doesn't matter that this kid got his mother's gun who's a sheriff deputy. It doesn't matter. We're here because guns are prevalent. So much so that we had a dude go onto Florida State's campus in the student union in a wide open area and play duck hunt. I'm tired of saying this got to stop. I want to say when we gonna vote, because I'm not going to sit here and protest and be all in the state capitol. You got to do X, Y, Z. Fuck all that. When it's time to go to the poll, put your sign down and register to vote. Let me see your meet me at the poll hashtag. And one more thing. For those of y'all who know me, I usually don't play this type of game. But when all of this was unfolding and nobody knew nothing, there's a group of people that chose to make this about black people. You chose to create a narrative that was never our narrative to start with. That was never our stereotype. But because in this new world of alternative facts, you chose to assign that narrative to us. Fuck you and your mama. This was never about us. This is always about you.
Yep.
This ain't about no multicultural society. This is about our ineffectiveness when it comes to gun control. No more, no less. Can't even assign this to race. You can assign this to dumbass. You can assign this to that. Because every time one of you dumbasses make a comment, it prevents someone who is genuinely concerned about what's going on to get lost. These are about kids that are lost. And the kids we are talking about ain't black. So, as somebody told me, before you start throwing rocks at somebody else's house, you better sweep around your own front door. Because we tired. Hey, Doc, what you got for us this week? We might have lost Doc. Hey, TP, what you got for? What you got for us this week, TP?
Well, Kadarius Toney has announced that he is retiring from the NFL and is going to pursue a rap career. So from now on, you refer to Kadarius Toney as Young Joker.
I just saw that dumb shit.
We're gonna see how this rap career takes off or lack thereof. So stay tuned. And in other Nico news, Nico I Am a Lever said that if his NIL expectations are not met, he will sit out the college football playoffs this year. He won't have to worry about it regardless. They're not going to the playoffs. UCLA is not going to the CFB playoffs. I don't know what roster he think they have over there. It ain't gonna happen. So stay tuned. This is one of those. We'll wait till January to see how this plays out, but I kind of already have a good, thought about how that's going to end. But in other news, Dallas Mavericks shocked the world. They went out there and beat the Kings, earned themselves another opportunity to get into the playoffs after dropping all the way down to the 10 seed. I know we like to play in. I don't like to play in. I feel like if you wasn't good enough to be in the top 8, you don't have a shot in the playoffs. That's just my feeling on it. But for those guys, I know that they appreciate the opportunity to still have a season, still got a shot. I ain't dead yet. That's how Anthony Davis played yesterday. I ain't dead yet. And they went out there and they dominated on the glass because they have a way taller team than the Sacramento Kings, who are now going to be sitting at home for the rest of the summer. Cancun, here you come. Going into the games tomorrow, Mavericks versus the Grizzlies, and we got the Hawks. The Hawks will be playing. I forgot who they played. Never mind. Yeah, I think it's the Bulls. Hawks and the Bulls. My bad. Hawks and the Bulls. Both of those teams have underperformed this year. Trae Young, it's been 7 years, and we're still waiting for him to make that jump. And I get it that he hasn't had an all-star on his roster the entire time, another all-star. But if you're the guy, you got to be the guy. Ain't no excuses. You got to go out there and you got to perform, and you got to perform exceptionally well in the playoffs. So both of those teams aren't dead yet. Grizzlies and the Mavericks aren't dead yet. So tune in tomorrow. Should be a great day of basketball play-ins. We get to finally see who's going to be in the full seeded playoff bracket, and that's when the fun really begins. My Rockets got the Warriors. Let's get it. We kind of expected this. We're ready. Like I said before, shut your mouth. Go out there and play ball like we've been doing all year. Dylan Brooks, if I hear you say one thing to Draymond Green, bro, I might fly down to Houston and we're gonna have some words. Just go out there and play your game. It was the first time we've been in the playoffs in a long time. The best season we've had in a long time. Let's continue that path of growth and let's not go backwards. I'm just glad that Mike D'Antoni ain't the coach. You know what I'm saying? We play defense now. Take the D out of D'Antoni because he didn't play defense. It's terrible. We actually played defense this year, and Dylan Brooks has done a great job. Van Vliet has done a great job. Jalen Green, Sequin. Let's get it, man. Rockets. We got the Golden State Warriors. I don't care. Coconut curry, shrimp curry, curry on a stick. Rockets in 5.
Wow. Mother, what you got for us this week?
Well, I'm going to keep mine short and sweet. Today was a anxious day for me after receiving a phone call about an active shooter on campus. It kind of threw my day into a little anxious tailspin because my daughter and son works almost on campus. My daughter is finishing up her senior year. Luckily, everything was good with them, but my thoughts immediately went to the people that are pretty much going to have PTSD the rest of their life, all because of someone choosing to do something so selfish. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about this individual, and I don't know him at all. So my thoughts immediately go to the people that are going to be affected long term, even after the injuries heal, even after people stop talking about this, they'll be affected. So it's definitely if you're feeling some kind of way, reach out and get some help type thing. Don't think that you're too strong to handle this all by yourself because you'll never, hopefully, you'll never have to go through anything like this again in your life, and you never experience anything like this. So seek help, talk to somebody. Don't internalize anything and think that you can do it yourself. And that goes for anybody out there that's listening that may be dealing with something that you can't understand. Talk to somebody that has a different lens, a professional, even if you don't have somebody close to you that you can confide in and feel comfortable and trust what they tell you. But it's time to come together as a community and not lean to your own understanding. And that's what my thoughts are today. I hope everybody hug your loved ones, tell everybody that you love them, because you never know when the phone call is gonna come or when someone's gonna reach out and say this person's gone. So that's my time. I hope everybody stay blessed.
Oh. Real quick before we end the show.
I'm available.
No. Real quick before we get to Doc. For all you people saying that Cordell Stewart is the best Colorado quarterback, I need y'all to do your research. There is a young man named Darian Hagens. He's not young anymore, but still, there is a guy, number 3. He really existed. Cordell Stewart was cute. Cordell Stewart didn't win. Darian Higgins won. But we'll talk about that another time. What you got for us this week, Doc?
Hey, I'm just speaking on that. I'm gonna need them to hold off on trying to retire Shador and Travis's number. I want them to go ahead and retire those players that played on that 1990 National Championship team and get it right and get it done. Starting with Alfred Williams, starting with Darian Higgins, starting with Deion Figures, starting with Eric Kennedy. Get those 4 names in that stadium before you get those other 2. Other than that, prayers out for the folks at Florida State. Really talk to your kids, and if you don't want to talk to them, crash out on them. You really need to crash out on your kids. Hey, go Mavs. Hey, Mavs in 6. But I'm out. Peace.
All right, Jamal. You say I wait for you. I have you last so you can say something wild. Tell me what you got this week.
I had some wild until earlier. So I'm going to try and make this short. I am 34 years old. And I can honestly say I'm probably one of those persons that has PTSDs from mass in school shootings, and I never was involved in one. So from 1999 with Columbine, even up until I was in college when Virginia Tech happened. I was in college when the first shooting at Florida State happened in the library. And I'm going to tell you how close that one hit home. I was living at home. I was back at home because my mother had died in 2013. So I moved back home with my dad I said it was to help him, but it really was to help me as well. So we were just helping each other get through it. And I used to get up early because I was working at night. So I used to get up early so I could go to the library and do my homework because I didn't get out till like 12 o'clock. So I would go home, go to sleep, get up, really go to the library, do my homework, go to class. And he was getting ready for work. And all the news said was shooting at local college library. And guess who wasn't at home and who was in the library? Me. So his first mind was somebody that shot up the library at FAMU and Jay in the library doing homework. That's how close that last shooting hit home for me. Sensible gun ownership is not gun restriction. It's simply saying you don't need an AR-15. An AR-15 won't save you in any type of anything. If somebody breaks into your house right now, home defense experts, police, and even military experts have told you the best home defense if somebody breaks into your house to defend your home is a shotgun with buckshots. Not an AR, not a Glock, a simple shotgun with buckshots defends your home the way you need it to defend. Today was senseless. Today was an indoctrination, the same indoctrination that they say is happening on college campuses to make people woke. Once you get to the level to the basement level of it, once all of their manifestos come out, even that one that they have over there on Appleyard Drive who is refusing to talk, even when it all comes out, it's going to come down to an indoctrination on something dumb, something that people with, I don't even want to say common sense because it ain't so common, but even people with 2 brain cells gonna say that's dumb as hell. So there are people that are racing to Tallahassee right now to get to their kids because they don't know, probably hadn't talked to them. Kid dropped their phone running, phone busted, and hey mama, my phone gone. So I said that to say it today didn't have to happen. Today should not have happened. But I'm also smart enough to know that today is going to happen again. Because as people, not just black people, but as white people, we continue to allow people that don't live in the neighborhoods as us, kids don't go to the same schools as us, people that don't have the same fears as us to tell us what we should be afraid of. Not only do you fight this at the polls, you fight this by making lobbying illegal. The biggest gun lobbyist in this country is the NRA. A lot of people don't realize it's the NRA. Get the NRA shut down, and then we might get half of what we're asking for to save our lives, to save our children's lives, to make some of this safe. Outside of that, I'm gonna step off my soapbox, and I will be at the FAMU softball game this weekend. Go Lady Rattlers. Coach Beall for Coach of the Year. Congratulations to Coach Mike Rice for his golf championship and also Coach of the Year. We got outdoor track coming up. Right now, FAMU is at 199 conference championships. We can very well close this year out with over 200. Let's go Rattlers. As always, fuck Donald Trump, punch Nazis, and crash the fuck out when people got you fucked up. I'm Lord Jamal.
I want to thank everybody for coming to another gathering of Old Men Podcast. Again, like I said on Twitter, I probably needed the night more than y'all needed it. And I want to thank everybody for it. For myself, TP, Marlo, Doc Holiday, Lord Jamal, Coach Beall, thank you. We are out.
Start with them.
Jeez.